So, first cast we're gonna do is just kind of it's called a pickup lay down cast. It's an overhead cast. Very simple. So the first thing we want to do first we want to look at the grip of how you hold the rod. You can hold the grip. Very simple. You can wrap your fingers around it with your thumb down the cork. You want to see like that. You can also do the same thing, wrap your fingers, but with your index finger down the cork. But the most common is probably thumb down the cork, most comfortable. So first thing we want to do is we're gonna pull line out of the reel. We're gonna pull a fair amount. I mean, this is the line you're gonna be casting. So a big thing you can see on a fly rod is that you don't have a button to click or a bail to flip open to cast out. Instead, you're using the rod and the length of the rod to cast it, and the motion you use to cast it. So another thing is when we're fly fishing, or when you're regular fishing, what kind of pulls the line out? Like when you cast it, what makes all the line come out?
Probably the weight.
Yeah, exactly. The weight of the lure, or the weight that's on there.
Right.
So the flies we use, as you saw in the shot, they're not very heavy.
No.
They're very light. So we use the weight of the line. That's where the line and the weight comes in, to cast out the rod, cast out the fly. And so how we do that is, like I said, is you pull some line out, desired amount of how far you want to cast. Put it in you're gonna hold it in your left hand. You're gonna pinch it just like this. You're gonna get your rod out nice in front of you. Loose grip, but relaxed. Pop, pause, go. Pop, pause, go. How you do that is so you're nice and rod bends, and that's energy being stored up in the rod. So you have enough. You have a nice, powerful cast, and so when you're paused at the back, you're storing it up, and then you're allowed to push it back forward, and it'll be nice and strong. If that makes sense. Yeah. So we'll keep doing this. So now focusing on your left hand, you're gonna pop, pause, go, and you're gonna pinch it all the way into the way back until you're on your way back forward. So you're gonna pop it out, pause, and then you're gonna let it go. Pop it out, pause, let it go. Pop it out, pause, let it go. As you can see, I'm casting farther and farther because I'm pulling line out, pause,
Oh, I see. Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when you're casting a fly rod, and the more and more line you have out, it's gonna be you're gonna have to really pull it out real strong and firm, and you're gonna have a nice pause, but you're gonna have to increase the speed of the line. So if you see, so if I'm real close, I can really just kind of pop it out and go and be fine. But once I get real far, I need to increase the speed of the line, pop it out, pause, and then go. And that's kind of the
Yeah.
basics of what you want to do.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna pop it out, pause, go, and you're gonna kind of keep that rhythm. You're gonna, pop, pause, go, pop, pause, go, and that allows it to evenly and lay down nice and soft and present a nice good cast. Pop, pause, go. So that's your basic overhead pick up, lay down cast.
Okay.
And so now we're gonna add another step to it, and it's very easy. So if you're using this cast, if you can see, so now I'm there. Now I have to pick, the fly hits the water. I have to pull more line out, and I have to cast again. So instead of having to make multiple casts where you're dropping the line, picking it back off the water, is you're going to do just your regular overhead cast with multiple false cast. So what a false cast is the same casting motion, but you're not allowing the fly to hit the ground. So this is a false cast. So you see how I'm keeping it up in the air?
Yeah.
It's not touching the ground.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of doing that same motion.
Uh-huh.
So you're still doing the same thing. So you're gonna go. You're gonna pop, pop, pause, go, pop, pause, go, pause, go, pause, go. And at this point, you're working 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then you can present.
Okay. Since you're kind of an expert, you've been doing this for a long time.
Right.
How many feet of line can you do that without touching the ground?
Probably like close to like 30, 40, 50 feet. You can get it out there fairly well doing that. And of course, the more you practice, as a beginner, you want to start very basic and start very close up and tight, just right here. And you don't even have to let any line out. But once you're ready to start letting line out, same deal, you're pinched it in your left hand, and you pop, pause, and you pause, and then you let it go, and you just open that hand. You just open that hand just a little bit. So if you see, I'm still getting a little line out, and as I'm going forward on my false cast, I'm letting that line out. Does that make sense? Okay. Same kind of deal. So how I like to do it is like pinch, open, pinch, open. So let's do this a couple more times. Pause. That is a false cast, and a thing that you want to remember on your cast is not coming from your wrist. A lot of people kind of just like to move their wrist, and that creates. If you watch the fly line when I use my wrist, it creates a very circular, if you look, it creates it to be like this, and that's not what we're looking for in a cast. We're wanting to keep it very straight and parallel. You want to keeping it very parallel, and that'll allow it to be very accurate. When you're arced, you're gonna have a lot more line. You're gonna have a lot of line that's just gonna fall down on you. So, casting, I'm not saying you have to keep your wrist locked, but keep it nice, pretty firm. Don't be moving the rod with your wrist. And it's really an elbow shoulder motion. You're gonna pop, and it'll be a lot more comfortable for you. It won't hurt your wrist as much.
Being an older person with old joints and stuff, carpal tunnel syndrome and all that, do you know of special, gloves you can wear or shoulder things to help? Since you can be doing this for, hundreds of casts,
right.
I'm thinking for an older person, it might ache your muscle. And I'm thinking maybe there are ointments or special accessories you can get, and I can probably look it up. But are you aware of things like that for older people, maybe? Or
they're like compression sleeves you can get. Nothing like in the realm of fly fishing, but there are like sports medicines that you can
get
compression sleeves you can put on your shoulder or your elbow, and that'll help a little bit.
All right.
If that's
All right.
something
All right.
that's occurring. So do you want to give it a try?
Okay.
Alrighty.